Welcome to Have You Read Any Good Books? I'm Mavis Applewater, and this is Author Chat. Just a reminder, our authors and or books fall under the rainbow umbrella, LGBTQ+. If this makes you uncomfortable, then bye-bye. Today's guest is award-winning author M.J. Williamz, best known for Initiated by Desire, Escapades, Summer's Passion. To say his work has a flair to it would be an understatement. He has just completed his 23rd book, so we have something to look forward to. Can't wait to talk about it. And now, MJ. Welcome, MJ.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mavis.
So long. It's been so long. I can't remember.
Years and years and years.
Years.
I think the last time I saw you was in New Orleans for the Golden Crown Literary Society thing.
NOLA. Yeah, I was just that was such a good one. I
Yeah.
love that city.
That's,
Well, that's not far for you because you're in
oh,
Houston, right?
yep. It's about an 8-hour cruise for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. It's a great city. How's Layden? The family?
Wonderful.
Everyone?
Awesome. She's wonderful. Family's wonderful. Life's great.
It's cool. Wow. 23rd book you finished.
I did indeed. Yes.
Wow. You slacker, you. Oh my God. 23. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. In
Uh,
about a 15-year span. That's not too bad.
it's not bad at all. And you're with Bold Strokes Books.
I am, although Pleasures in P Town
Oh,
and Florida Lies will be my two books out this year. I'm self-publishing those.
awesome.
Yeah.
So two new books to look forward to.
Mhm.
Now, you might want to guess what my favorite of yours is because I've got the artwork behind me. Is of course Speakeasy.
Yeah.
Freaking love Speakeasy. I mean, the whole time period,
Yeah.
everything, and people not familiar with your books. I think I described it in a little blurb I do before this as tantalizing. Let's just
Ah,
look up
thank you.
tantalizing. Yeah, I mean, very spicy,
Yeah.
awesome stuff. Oh,
That was probably one of my favorite books to write was Speakeasy. Yeah.
I loved it. I heard you do a reading from it. I think it might have been Austin. You and I were talking about that just before we started recording. The joys of going to Lone Star
Star
Lesvik.
Lesvik. Yeah.
Yes. And we've been talking about a lot of authors have been talking about the old Bard cons and that, how great it was because it was so intimate.
Right.
Just no awards or anything like that. You just
Hung
connecting
out.
with readers. Yeah, I just love
Those were
that.
awesome. Yeah, I agree. I miss those days.
Yeah, well, there's a little push. My wife Heather's like trying to get maybe something, a little something going together, get some people together.
Oh, cool. Keep me in mind.
Oh yeah, no, definitely send you an invite
Yeah.
and all that. Out here in beautiful Las Vegas. It's all about the kid.
The most important thing is family.
It is. It really is. 2003 was your first publishing,
2004 was, well, 2003 was my first contract. 2004, my first short story came out.
and that's
Pool.
interesting. The first contract. A lot of people don't realize you signed that first contract. That does not mean you're getting published.
Right. Right.
It's all part of the world, right? But
Right.
2004. Wow. So that's quite a history there. And was that with BSB with Bold Strokes?
Actually, that was with Bella. Pool Games was a short story in a Butch Femme anthology that the title escapes me now. It's been 20 years. What do you expect? I'm old. But yeah, it was called Pool Games, and it was Reese Szymanski was the editor for that
Oh,
anthology.
Reese.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's gone back a ways too.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Initiated by Desire. I'm familiar with that one.
Mhm.
Escapades, Summer Passion. Just such a list. And several Goldies now and finalists for Rainbow Awards.
Mhm.
I'm trying to catch up. As I explained to you, I keep everything in one folder, and I went to grab yours to do everything, and it's like I couldn't find your bio. I couldn't find.
That's funny. That's okay. I'm here. We're
You're
here. We're
here. We're
doing
here.
it.
And it's very initials. I just talked to JD Glass, now MJ Williams, and I'm
Mhm.
talking to JM Redmond, I think late next week or so. So,
Oh, sweet.
yeah, so we're just getting anyone with initials, come on down.
There you go. That's the thing to do, man. When I was trying to pick a pen name, that was it. Everybody was like, "You gotta have initials. You gotta have initials." And I'm glad I did now because it's kind of androgynous. It works. I can still be
Yes.
MJ, but yeah. So I went with that.
Yeah. That's funny because I went from my real name to not having gone by initials.
That's funny.
Yeah. So two new books.
Mhm.
Now I want to go back to Speakeasy first because
Sure, sure.
this research on that must have been,
So much fun.
oh my God.
So much fun. I had like, yeah, I had the North all mapped out, and who was the head there, and I had the South obviously with Al Capone all mapped out. South of
Right,
Chicago and the Northern, and who were the players, and I integrated a lot of the players in the book. I mean, there are
right.
names of people in the book that were really in that time period doing this thing. So I had so much fun with that book because I love Al Capone. I know he wasn't a nice man, but I'm just
No, he was
obsessed.
not.
I should say I'm obsessed with Al Capone. So to write this book was just like
Well, you
loved it.
can't bring up Chicago during that period of time and not even mention Al Capone. I mean, come
Right?
on, right?
Right?
Then
I
you have
agree.
a speakeasy.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, it's funny because my college roommate's aunt had a tea room back then in
Oh,
Chicago.
nice.
And you got a very nice little note from Mr. Capone saying, please shut down your business. It was a note. It wasn't anything, and she did.
Oh, obviously.
Yeah. I think I'll go do something else now.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. That's awesome.
Uh,
Frame that note.
I would have. It was a very nice man named Al Capone.
Yep.
I'm loving the artwork on the new one.
Thank
Pleasures
you.
and Peace. Yeah, yeah. I
Tina
printed that
Michelle
up.
did that for me. She's
Oh,
amazing.
sweet,
Amazing.
sweet. Yeah. I mean, that kind of says it right there.
Yeah. You kind of know what you're getting into with that book,
Oh, and plus you have the monument in the back.
right?
Anyone who's been to P Town.
Right? Knows. Oh, that's where it is. And
Yeah, yeah.
obviously, there's going to be a
Have you ever
statue.
climbed that sucker?
I have not. Layden did 1 year. I can't because of my back. I can't do much
Oh, right,
mobility
you're
stuff.
back.
But yeah, Layden climbed it 1 year with a friend and a couple friends actually, and got some pictures. And we waved from the bar. We got to the top. They said step outside, so we did, and we waved to them.
I know I did it. I'm trying to remember if it was Heather. Yeah. Yeah. And we were like, okay, we've done that. We
Yeah.
don't need to do that ever again.
No, no, I can't imagine.
And we were still smoking then, so we about
Right,
died on the way down.
right, right, right. Well, I have. See if I can show you this tattoo I have. Can you see that?
I lean
The
over my
sun moon.
computer like I could see stuff better, right?
Right, hold on. There's a sun and a
Oh,
moon,
Sun
and
and the
there's a
Moon and
Town
the
monument.
P Town, yeah,
Yep, yep,
at the Pilgrims Tower there. Awesome.
yep. Love that
Now,
monument.
you guys, when you got, I'm trying to put this, you got married
Hmm.
um at one of the cons. It was at
Portland Con
Portland.
2014. Yeah,
That's it.
we're coming up on our 10-year wedding anniversary this
That's
July.
it.
Yep, it
And
flew.
and Lee did the ceremony, right?
Lee did not do the ceremony. She
Oh,
was
she
there,
did.
of course, but she did not do the ceremony. We had one of Layden's sisters perform the ceremony for us.
But
But
how
Lee was
fun is
there.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
it's
awesome.
yeah, it's
We were all in the receiving line, waiting as people came in. And Lee walked up to my son and said, "Hi, my name's Lee." And Caleb just went, "Oh my God, you're Lee Lynch!" Just absolutely floored Lee.
because if you know her, she hates that. She
I
just
know.
like she really does.
I
And
know.
I do that crap to her. It's like she's like,
Yeah.
stop that, stop that. Did you bring ice
Mhm.
cream? Stop it.
Yep. Yep.
Love that girl. Oh,
Definitely.
but yeah, I remember that. That was a nice guy. I love Portland. That's another beautiful area.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the fun thing is that we do. One, you have to leave your comfort zone. You could write the best book in the world unless you tell people about it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I found out about Speakeasy because you read from it. And it's like, oh, I should get that. You know,
Yeah. And
that
I'm
sounds
glad you
like
did.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to step out, but being an introvert, it's hard. And so many authors are introverts. So,
It's so true. It's like, what? I have to speak, I have to read, and I go through the same thing. It's like I have to what?
yeah.
Crap.
Yep. Exactly.
But you get to see a lot of fun places, like Austin and
Hmm.
Portland, and it's like, oh yeah, we're going here, and you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
But
wife, my wife and I have been together 12 years now. We've been married 10 coming up in July. And this next weekend is the first time we're taking a vacation together that's not book or family related
awesome.
after 12 years. Cause it's like, you only get so much PTO if you work in the States. I don't know how it is elsewhere, but here you get like 2 to 3 weeks.
That's it.
And if
Yeah.
you got to work, some of us have to work to support our writing. We're not free and easy yet, but there's P Town and there's a conference every year, and then you got to do something for your family. I've got a 93-year-old mother who's got
Oh,
Alzheimer's and had a stroke,
oh,
so I have to go out there and see her. I mean, I can't just forget about that now,
no.
So there's so many, and Layden comes from a family of 16 kids, so there's always something going on with
Holy
her family we got
crap.
to go to.
I
So
think she
yeah, it's
told
gonna
me
be
that
fun.
once, and I was just like, what?
Yeah, yeah, amazing family, the most awesome group of people you'll
Oh,
ever meet.
cool.
Yeah, yeah.
And Layden's a writer as well.
She's
Did
written
I?
4 books, yes, but she kind of took a hiatus after her fourth one because she basically like did the first one,
Mhm.
and then she had edits due, and then she had the page proofs come in, and she was had edits due on her next book. She just crammed them in too close together, so she
Oh
was
yeah.
so she
And
quit for a while.
words to you aspiring writers. There's a process involved.
Yes, yes, definitely.
You submit it. It gets a reader. It gets okay. It gets okay. It may not be on the slate for this year. Then it goes through editing. That's the fun part. So by
Yeah,
the time it goes to print, most writers
hate the
couldn't
book.
hate their lead characters anymore.
Oh, that's so true. You're like, do I have to read this person's character one more time?
Can't
Yeah,
I just set her on fire?
yeah,
Just
yeah, exactly. Yep.
so tell us about the new books. This Fleur de Lis and Pleasures
Brutalize and
in
Pleasures in P Town. These are both these books have trans men as a main character.
Awesome.
Um, I will say for Pleasures in P Town, for those of you going, I would never read a book about a man, especially an erotic romp with a man in it. He has not had bottom surgery, and that is critical to the book because
Okay.
obviously the woman is bisexual. His love interest is bisexual. She finds the best of both worlds in Chase. And Chase is an artist who's having an art show in P Town. Gina works at a bar based on one of the main places we hang out when we go to P Town. This book is just a romp through P Town. It's a fun. I mean, there's heavy bits. There's the X shows up, and there's they're it's not all happy free fun time, but for the most part it's a fun romp through P Town. If you've ever been to P Town, you would love this book. There's a lot of sex in it and a lot of P Town in
Cheers.
it.
Two of my
It's
favorite subjects.
right, exactly. And then
Well,
Floyd Wise is also a trans man. He just gotten out of the Air Force, goes through cop school in New Orleans, and gets to work at the cop shop he wants to, which is in the French Quarter. And then he suspects that there are dirty cops there. And so
oh,
he is trying to investigate his fellow officers in that book. There's a slight romance, but not really until the end, of course. but for the most part, it's just him trying to get to the bottom of what's going on in this precinct.
Well, pleasures in P-Town. I mean, usually, of course, the angst. You got to have a little bit of that angst in there.
Oh
Come
yeah,
on.
you will.
Right.
It's there, but it's also it was so much fun to write because yeah, it was just a lot of fun to write because I love P Town. It's one of my favorite places in the world. It's
That's
definitely in
awesome.
my top two places in the country. Um, the feeling, the atmosphere, the whole be yourself feeling, freedom in P Town. I tried to capture that and let these two people be authentically themselves and try to get to be with each other authentically. And of course, there's a problem, but um, yeah, that was something I
And
really tried to bring in was the feeling of Provincetown in that book.
there is a feeling to it. I grew up and lived most of my life like a couple hours
Right.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, because as most people know, I'm originally from the Boston area. Somehow found myself out here.
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas. Well, no, like you said, family.
Yep.
And anyone who's follows me knows that there's a bean involved. There's the bean.
The bean.
The
The
bean,
bean
the
is mission
bean.
critical.
Oh, the bean's 8 now. So
Wow.
yeah, I know, right?
That's amazing.
But the whole thing about P Town is there is a vibe there. There is a sense of freedom
Exactly.
that
Exactly.
goes along with it, and there's a calming. Some of my favorite memories are just walking on the beaches in any kind of weather because I'm one of those lunatics. Raining, I'm still out there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, love it. In fact, that's where we honeymooned.
Oh nice.
Well, we eloped, and because Mitt Romney was governor and he was an ass
Mm,
and
hmm.
wanted to. Oh, no, let them get married.
Yeah. Right.
Well, Massachusetts just said yes, everyone can. So
That's so
yeah, we eloped to the Cape.
nice.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So anyone who wants to know what it's like in P Town has not been, one, you should go. It's awesome.
Yes.
Two, you should check out Pleasures in P Town. Now, when can we expect
Pleasures in P Town. My estimated date is May.
May? Okay,
Going
that's
through the editing
perfect.
process now. It should be ready in May, and then Florida Lives will be out shortly after that,
So
probably
you
August.
August? So
Yeah.
you can read Pleasures in P Town on your way to P Town. It's just
Yes. Yes. Get all the figure out all the tourist spots, all the highlights from the book. No, I want to go here. I want to
right
go
over
here.
there. And they're saying there are certain places aren't still around, but you'll recognize the bars and the clubs, and
Hmm.
there's certain things that everything kind of like is a mainstay
Yeah.
there and has been since, well, I started going there in the 80s, so,
Wow.
well, college.
Right. Sure.
Um, Now, I like to put links in the description,
Okay.
and these are going to be independent. But I had issues with your website. Should people just go visit your Facebook page to keep up to
Yeah,
date?
Facebook for now. I'm updating my website right now, so
Yeah, there was I went to
um
check it out and was like, oh,
it's
huh.
down. Sorry. I'm working on it.
Now a
Got
lot
all
of
these irons in the fire and I'm trying to get them all done. Right. I'm trying to update my website. I'm trying to get more books out. I'm trying to do a lot of stuff.
authors are hitting this. It's like, well, I was reading your blog and it's 4 years old.
Right.
I know you've done stuff since then.
Right. Right.
So I will link to your Facebook page.
Yeah, definitely. Like me on Facebook, follow me on Facebook.
Yep.
Sure.
And also Bold Strokes. I'll put that link in as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's got all my stuff.
Yes, to keep people up to date. Now,
Hmm.
New Orleans,
Hmm.
Mystery, Dirty Cops.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a fun book. They're my publisher, they're basically a romance publisher, right? So
Mhm.
when I wrote the book, they were like, you got to put this, you got to make this a romance. And I was like, well, I don't really want them to have a romance because he's not sure where he is in his life yet. You know, he's
Right.
just got a new job. He's gonna just have top surgery. He's just kind of discovering himself. He's not ready for a relationship. They're like, they got to be in a relationship. Anyway, this book was released for one day, was pulled because of they said there were too many triggers in it.
Huh.
I did have sensitivity readers. Obviously, I wrote it, so I feel very comfortable that there were no triggers in there. But I can see how what they told me what it was. I could see how people could be a little about it. I had sensitivity readers also read it. I didn't get any feedback from them negatively, but it was pulled. But I was given permission to self-publish, so I will be. There's a couple things I can change now because I've had top surgery, so I can write that experience a
Right.
little. Um, but yeah, so there's a few tweaks in it, but for the most part, it's pretty much good to go. I just need to do it.
Well, I can't imagine it's an easy journey at all.
It's you know,
And then for you personally, and then having a character who's a cop.
yes,
It's like, oh,
yes.
where do I sign?
It's yeah, he gets into a little bit of trouble, finds himself in some precarious predicaments.
Right.
But it was again a lot of fun to read. I mean, write. A jaunt through New Orleans, always fun.
Oh,
French Quarter, always fun. You know,
unless you're running at the
right?
other than that, no. No, it's an awesome city.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
But it's one of those ones where, I wouldn't be touring it alone.
No, definitely not.
Heather's trying to sneak in. She had the dog at the park.
Oh, hello.
Hello. Uh the because we live in a complex, so you gotta get little Boston out.
Of course.
Yes.
My
Uh
dogs are all sleeping on the couch right now.
I just love how they take over, though.
Mhm.
It's like so lots to look forward to. Now, I'm guessing you're working on more. Little hints for
I don't
us.
I don't really know. It's really funny. When I went to P Town in October of last year, I had published two books last year.
Hmm.
Um, Hearts in the Wind, and then an erotic thruple book called Undiscovered Treasures.
Oh yeah, I was looking at the artwork for that.
Yeah, Tina Michelle did that one. Um,
Nice.
so and so of course after every panel they always ask what's next. And I honestly thought I was through. I'll be perfectly honest. I thought I was through. I told them there I'm not writing anymore. It's gone. But then I met a woman in P Town who had the most amazing eyes. And it didn't, I mean, I'm happily married, nothing like that,
No.
but she had the most amazing eyes I've ever seen. And that's where Pleasures in P Town came from, this woman with the eyes. That's what the book is. Just it starts with her eyes. So that's where that came from. I don't have anything in me right now. Trans books, I'm sure I will write more of. They will be self-published because apparently they don't sell very well. Trans main character books aren't selling well. And I'll probably do a couple lesbian erotica novels coming up too. I just don't have anything on the burner right now.
Right. But it is interesting of what listed as what sells. I mean, I was talking to Renee Best, and she was told years ago, or not all that long ago, that nobody wants to hear the coming out story of someone who's of a black girl. It's like, really? So I
Wow.
think there is an audience for trans stories.
I'm sure there is.
There has to be. I mean, seriously. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
I have
adjust.
I do belong to a trans group, Trans Men Over 40. Um, and I plan to market it there heavily.
Yeah.
um, because I think that there are readers. I think there are readers who want to read this kind of stuff, and I think that I think women shouldn't be afraid. Lesbians shouldn't be afraid of reading it just because there's a trans man in there, because it's still a story of two people falling in love and
Yes.
having hot sex.
And
I
falling
mean,
in
what more
love.
do you want? Yeah, yeah.
falling in love is the best.
It's great.
It's
It's
just
awesome.
amazing.
I do it
And
every day.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Um, all right, let's see if I get this. I don't want to block the artwork here.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that working from home thing, because I have to cover my whiteboard every time. It's like, oh, I'll just
Ah,
put my books up there. There.
there you go.
Yeah. And the Beatles, of course.
The Beatles, definitely.
Because I'm really old and remember when they were together.
Yeah.
I
I
do. Oh no, I do. I remember when they were making new songs.
wow.
Yeah. But love is love, and that's what we keep saying, and it can't be love is love except.
Right. There's no except.
No, there's no
I
except.
agree.
I mean, we'll draw the line. Consenting adults is my line.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did you hear about that thing in Kentucky where
What's it?
the with the child dolls or whatever for um minor inclined people or something like that? Oh my God, it's twisted.
Oh my
Somebody
God.
in Kentucky presented this that it's okay to have basically child sex dolls. It's twisted, man. It's so twisted. It's like, no, that's not the same thing, you idiot. Right?
No.
Sorry, I got
No.
passionate over this
No.
one.
See, this is what's getting to me. They're banning books
Mm-hmm.
down to, and I keep mentioning this, the dictionary,
Right.
right? And Kentucky, I'm trying to remember if that's where that clerk worked who
Yes.
wouldn't hand out the
Yes. It was in
licenses,
Kentucky.
who had been married and divorced several times.
Right. Right. Family values.
Yes. But now that this, it's like
Mhm.
we're not asking for special privileges. We're
No.
humans. We're just living our lives.
Exactly.
And we're not asking an 8-year-old to read your one of your books or one of mine.
No.
No,
No.
I
Definitely
get
not.
I get a lot of auntie. No, no, no. When you're 18 and don't
Right.
tell auntie you read that, I just no.
There you go. Yep.
Just don't really need to know my nephew really, and I do know he really enjoyed the brass ring.
Ah.
Yeah, great. That's awesome.
Yep.
That made grandma blush.
Right.
I know, right? Whoops. But we're facing this stuff, and it's like if you don't want to read trans stories, don't read trans stories.
Right.
Don't,
Simple. I
don't,
hope you don't feel that way, obviously, because I
no.
really want you to read Pleasures in P Town. But
No,
yeah, if
no.
you
It
don't want to
sounds
read it, then
awesome.
don't.
No, if you don't
But
want to
don't
read it,
read
don't.
don't pick it up and then trash it because there's a trans man in it. Or
No.
don't be transphobic on me on Amazon because you don't like trans people, but you bought my book.
But you bought the book, and we're like, what?
I've gotten 1-star reviews before for too much sex in my books. I'm like, why don't buy the book? I mean, thank you. I got your money. Ha ha ha.
Uh,
You didn't like it, but
it's like,
too much
well,
sex in one of my books.
and if something like that happens, I'm like, well, you obviously have not read my books before.
Right?
You missed
Yeah.
that whole thing with the cop and the nun, that went right by.
Yeah.
And I remember you had asked once, you were thinking about doing something with a nun, and and I said I highly recommend it because that
Yes,
sucker
you
still
did.
sells.
Really? I
Oh
did Broken
yeah,
Vows and it sells. It's still selling, but yeah.
yeah. Mine has unique. It has a title that late. I want to point out mine was first. Later it was by a mainstream author, and everyone's like, "Oh no, I've heard of that." It's like, no, no, it's my sister's keeper.
Oh yeah.
Mine was actually published a good year before Jody's was.
Oh man.
But get
Oh,
some unique traffic. It's like, no, no, no. It's no, no. Mm-mm.
yeah.
I'm excited that you have two new titles coming out
Thank you. I'm
and
happy.
very different, like an escapade kind of thing, and then
Mhm.
Dirty Cop. I love Dirty Cop. I like crime stories anyways.
Yeah, so do I.
And so you get in there and you get into Nola, and it's like you have.
Mhm.
I'm excited. I can't wait to find out. So we're looking at May. I suggest everyone checks out MJ's Facebook page to keep up to date with that, and hopefully we'll have an updated uh, website. And I
Yeah,
do try to okay, at the clock. I do try to update like once a month on the authors I talk to. So if we have any news, keep me in the loop so I can
will
just
do.
say, hey, here you go. It's out or it's coming out.
Right on. Appreciate that.
Yeah. What you published last one was published in 2023, so just last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, such a slacker coming out with two, right?
Yep. Trying to keep up. Like I said,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what's happening after that though, but we'll see.
Well, like you said, you didn't think anything was going to happen, and then you took one look in someone's eyes, and there it was.
Yeah. Yep.
That's how it goes sometimes.
Hoping to get some inspiration from Puerto Vallarta next week.
Oh, well, gosh. Yeah, all right. Finally, a vacation. You two
Yep.
have a good time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for joining me. We are running a little short on time.
Okay. Thank
We're
you,
going to say
Mavis.
goodbye to people.
Adios, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, pleasures in P Town.